and announcing Cisco's very bold move in terms of expanding our presence in the cloud business. I'm going to be followed by Nick Earl, who has just taken on responsibilities as Senior Vice President for Cloud Sales and Go-to-Market at Cisco, as well as Erez from Telstra, who we've worked extensively with over the last few months. And last week in Cisco Live in Melbourne made some exciting announcements about how they see our participation here in partnership. And I think it's a demonstration of why we're announcing this at PartnerSummit. We're also joined by Bob Gull, who owns a very significant part of the relationship we have with Cisco-powered cloud providers. And we will all come back after a short 20-minute summary of today's news and then open the floor for questions. So most of the next hour is dedicated to answering your questions. Those of you that have tracked Cisco's progress in the cloud business have recognized that we've done pretty well in cloud infrastructure. We've done very well with the introduction of UCS, with some of the innovations we've brought to the marketplace, with partnerships that have led to a leadership position in converged infrastructure. We have done very, very well and are recognized by analysts and by our customers as a leader, if not the unequivocal leader in private cloud infrastructure. You recognize from Cisco, we have a number of SaaS offers, WebEx, which has done very well, Meraki, which is a network operations from the cloud that's doubled its customers last quarter, with certain security services from the cloud. So we've been a leader in SaaS offers. As a matter of fact, we're the second largest SaaS business cloud provider in the marketplace. And we've done extremely well with our partners in helping them build up infrastructure as a service or managed capabilities as almost specific instances for managed capabilities for their customers. We've delivered hosted collaboration solution, a version of a hosted application for call control and unified communications, and done very well. But we've all seen that there's some new rules emerging in the marketplace. We see a requirement for speed, such that we can't use all the same techniques to help our customers evolve to the emerging capabilities of cloud. We see the issue of scale, and we think that cloud is going to operate on an economic level that will require a very large scale, the kind of scale that a Cisco can bring together with its partners to the marketplace. We see the market moving very quickly and driving new innovation, new services, new capabilities from cloud. And of course, we all know that security is an underpinning of this discussion, as is data sovereignty and making sure that we respect the fact that certain workloads for certain markets will need to reside inside a country or a specific community cloud. So this is actually part of John's message about the fact that we all see, and I'm sure you all see every day, the pace of change accelerating in the marketplace. So because of that, we're moving to the second phase of our strategy, which is to move to become the #1 player in hybrid cloud. I speak to 80 to 100 customers every 90 days at our offices in San Jose. The conversation on the minds of our partners and of our end users in the enterprise, medium, small, and public sector market is how do I leverage the value of public cloud together with my infrastructure in private cloud and build the business model to securely deploy a hybrid cloud model in my enterprise. That's the conversation we'll have today, because we do see enterprise customers looking for lower cost of ownership. They're looking for flexibility in terms of how they move workloads between hybrid and public cloud environments. They're looking for faster and more agile deployment of their applications. And they're as well being challenged by the fact that all public cloud delivery models today don't offer them the compliance or security that gives them the comfort that they can move forward in a hybrid cloud environment. As we move into this second phase, we think we're taking an important step in building the global platform for the Internet of Everything. You'll hear John's keynote tomorrow as we see the interest and momentum ramping up for the Internet of Everything. And ladies and gentlemen, the Internet of Everything will be a world of many clouds. It will be the world's largest intercloud, in our opinion, in which mobile applications, in which new kinds of industrial sensors and connectors will be connected with IT, will be connected with collaborative software, will be connected with intelligent, rich, and analytics-based networks. That's our vision, and that's what we're announcing in our direction today. So very specifically, and in the releases that you have, we have these major components of today's news. Cisco's global network of clouds represents the next phase of our cloud strategy as we build an enabler for the Internet of Everything. Secondly, I believe that we can and will build the largest intercloud. It will be open. It will involve as many cloud providers as we can that can deliver value in the architectures and technologies that Cisco will bring to this discussion. It will be secure, and it will focus on the requirements of hybrid cloud delivery models. Thirdly, it will be based on a distributed network, a security architecture that's focused on high-value applications. We are not building a commodity ecosystem. We're building an ecosystem to deliver high-value, secure, sometimes complex applications that we'll deliver with our partners, that takes the value of the network, its real-time data, that embeds near infinite scalability around the world, and also is compliant with local data sovereignty laws that we expect to exist in many of the markets that we serve. It will be a cloud and a capability which exposes APIs consistently for rapid application development to help deliver an enterprise-class portfolio of cloud services for businesses with service providers, and of course for our resellers that are looking for an expanded portfolio in today's fast-moving market. We will be investing over $1 billion in this project in the next 2 years. But I would add to that that together with our partners, we expect that investment to be amplified. And is $1 billion enough? Absolutely not. Together with our partners, do we expect to see a multiplier effect from the strategy we're announcing? Absolutely yes, and we'll answer your questions in regards to that later today. And Cisco Cloud Services is going to be available with Cisco's brand as well as with the brands of our partners. And we have a partner here today to give you specifics about how they see this playing out in a very important market, and that's Eres from Telstra. So what are we trying to do? We actually see a combination of enterprise private clouds, the new delivery methodology or capability we're calling Cisco Cloud Services, embracing large public clouds as well as the Cisco-powered clouds that we're planning on expanding. So enterprise private cloud workloads, we've been discussing this for years. This is where we've done very well with a private cloud infrastructure based on UCS, Nexus, and other innovations. We have seen very significant success from our partners based on the offers they've had on their Cisco-powered clouds. Could be hosted collaboration solution with over 3 million seats of our unified communications licensed through our partners. Infrastructure or platform as a service. In some cases, we have ISV partners like SAP that are offering HANA and the HANA Enterprise Cloud, or analytics capabilities with other partner clouds. Today, you'll see us expand the Cisco offers to not only include WebEx and Meraki and certain security capabilities, but to begin to expose the foundations of an analytics engine. We announced in today's announcement we were going to have Cisco Cloud Services powered by SAP HANA, in which we bring that popular in-memory application to the market. We will be working with partners and ecosystems to help deploy cloud-based IoE and IoT applications. We'll be building virtual desktop and infrastructure as a service. And in the Intercloud vision, we'll also enable our customers to connect to those large public clouds, whether it's Azure, whether it's Amazon, or whether it's Google, because they do have a role in today's hybrid cloud environment. How's it going to work? I want you to think of the bottom building blocks, just like the bag of Lego blocks that we get as kids. It's a whole bunch of ingredients that we're going to bring to this discussion. The ingredients and capabilities of our partners today who are already in the cloud market. It could be specific capabilities of important ISVs in the enterprise and public sector market. It certainly will involve the ingredients of Cisco's own applications, our own software that we increasingly plan to deliver as cloud-based delivery models in addition to the on-prem or perpetual licenses that we've currently made available. It will include the service innovations and network capabilities of our partners. It will include the geographic reach to be able to deliver in Australia, to deliver in Germany, to deliver in Africa, to deliver in Asia, country by country, and our strategy will see what you've heard about today deployed in every country around the world over the next few years. And it will enable us to leverage the building blocks of domain expertise that many of our partners currently have in cloud services. Think of those building blocks as things that some of our partners will wholesale to us, that we'll buy from them, that we'll include in this construct of Cisco Cloud Services. And together, when you join them, that's the offer we're bringing to market. We will build the capabilities and design and operate our own cloud, but together with the capabilities of our partners. We will deliver a consistent user experience through one service management layer. We'll build world-class economics at scale, because if you ask a provider today, if you can ask one here today, can you keep up with the scale of investment required to compete at cloud speed if you do it all yourself? And the answer we're hearing from partners around the world is unequivocally they can't achieve scale by themselves. So we want to be an aggregator of those economics and scale. The orchestration and automation will be based on OpenStack innovation. We'll be participating with and delivering and working with the OpenStack community, leveraging open source development for that automation and orchestration platform. And it will be embedded in the Intercloud fabric, which we announced at Cisco Live in Milan, which will allow our customers to move workloads independent of hypervisor, independent of operating system, and independent of cloud. We'll talk about that as well. The capability will allow for local data sovereignty, so that governments and banks and healthcare institutions will be able to deliver those in the countries in which they want their data to reside, and it will be absolutely a demonstration of the application-centric infrastructure, the capabilities we've built with ACI, and you'll hear in the next session, actually, as Sony Giandani talks about our journey along the ACI development capabilities. We're going to bring those capabilities of Cisco Cloud Services to the market with a Cisco brand. We're going to bring those capabilities with a brand that our partners can resell today as they do Meraki and WebEx. We're going to bring those brands to the market in a co-branded environment where the customer wants to know it's us and a partner that are delivering that capabilities, and we will bring those capabilities and white label them or wholesale them to our partners under their brand. Nick Earl, that might be something that we can talk about in the Q&A. So now I'd like to hand it over to Nick as we talk about why this is different and how this plays out with our partners, and then take some time to introduce a very important partner that's with us here today. Thank you, Rob. Thanks.
So, hello everybody. Since 5 o'clock this morning, we've done a significant amount of briefings, analyst briefings, press briefings, pre-briefings, and also IR briefings. And one of the most common sets of questions that we've been asked is, so why is this different? Why is this really, truly different? And why could only Cisco pull this off? So I've tried to net this out in this slide that you're seeing now. I'm going to do this by looking outside in, from a customer perspective. Unlocking innovation for the hybrid cloud. As Rob mentioned, the #1 issue in the enterprise accounts is the move to the hybrid cloud. We did a survey recently, it was published, we did it with Intel. Said that 73% of CIOs say their #1 issue in cloud is the hybrid cloud. And if you think about what's happening right now, cloud is a very fragmented world. The problem with cloud is there's just too many to choose from. Application workloads, somewhere between 30 and 40% of application workloads are now being put on personal credit cards by lines of business independent of the IT organization. There's no single billing interface. There's no security, there's no data integrity, and there's no audit trail. We've seen examples of unencrypted data being put on Dropbox or AWS just because the CIO in the IT department couldn't provide collaboration. What we're providing here is not only innovation from a technical perspective for the hybrid cloud, but in the case of the Intercloud providers, such as the next company you're about to hear from, Telstra, they're going to be the single point of contact for their customers, as will every Intercloud provider. For all their cloud needs, as Rob says, independent of the hypervisor, they can move these workloads to any cloud as a single point of contact with a single billing interface. So it's business innovation, not just technical innovation. Now clearly there's also technical innovation as well. This is not an AWS lookalike. That's a low-margin business that's getting worse from a margin perspective and is bad for partners. The innovation in this is everywhere from the lower level of the stack right up to and including the applications and then the fabric at the top. This has been designed to be an application platform and specifically an enabler for the Internet of Everything. And everything that we've done in our SP innovation, the virtualization announcements recently in Intercloud, and the enterprise side of our business is coming together into this one ruthlessly standardized stack that will be replicated across every node in the Intercloud. One of the key differentiators that we'll be able to bring to market is security. In fact, specifically, we're going to have an ingredient sub-brand, which is powered by Cisco Cloud Services. That sub-brand will stand for brand attributes that are associated with our strengths. Security is absolutely key. Back to my comments around what's happening in public cloud. Items like managed threat defense built in, so that the Cisco, any company, any partner, and I'll show you the 3 different types in a second, that uses the Cisco Intercloud will not only have the same ruthlessly standardized stacks, but will get the Cisco security differentiation built in. We think, based on when we're talking to customers, that's going to be even more important going forward, particularly because of data sovereignty. And I can say, as a non-American, having recently spent a lot of time in Germany, you try and sell a cloud solution where the data goes back to the US, good luck. It's over. They won't even send it to Austria or Switzerland. It's staying in Germany. And the French data is staying in France. It's not going to go to US-based or even non-domestic data centers. The model has changed. We need scale, we need local data centers, and you don't get that by a vendor building out a data center, one data center at a time. The fabric that Rob talked about, by connecting all of these similar stacks together into the world's largest intercloud, will become a fabric for the enablement of the Internet of Everything, in the sense that going forward, the people with the ecosystems of devices and things will see this as a great place to put their applications on top from an application development platform perspective, so it becomes the single repository to get information about things, which is where the economic models are going forward. Information about things is more valuable than things, and the new business models around IoE, as John will talk about, around information. And then finally, probably the most important one. We had a choice, and that was, do we do this on our own, which we could, we're a big company, or do we leverage the biggest asset that we've got? And we deliberately chose to launch at this conference, because the biggest asset that we've got is 65,000 channel partners globally, all of whom can play in this partner-centric model. One of the biggest differentiators that we've got is we're going to bring this model to bear to the market with 65,000 companies, one of which is Cisco. It's a network of clouds play, not a vendor out play that we're doing here, based on open standards, not a walled garden, where you can move the workloads to any cloud, not just a set of sub-clouds based on the vendor who's offering them. But before I hand over to Therese from Telstra to give the real view, the partner view, there's broadly 3 types of partners. So think of the world of many clouds, everything's connected. There will be a small set of providers. Telstra is a provider. Providers power the cloud. They tend to be geographic-based, major service providers. They get an extended portfolio of Cisco-powered cloud services, because as Rob showed on the Lego slide, whatever's available as a set of managed services, which could be ours, SaaS and managed services, but could be any cloud provider, is available to all. They get faster time to market because we're building, operating, and managing it. Cisco's managing this environment with Telstra and guaranteeing that it will work, and those SLAs can be sold through in their sales efforts through partners or direct to their customers, which gives them expanded reach to new market segments. Of the 65,000 resellers that we've got, most of them want to resell cloud. They don't want to just
resell a white label agency model of AWS. So we'll drive our channel partners to create a demand that's going to be created by the supply of the set of global Intercloud providers. Now the other two sets of partners are builders and resellers. Why we split those up? Builders are the larger channel partners who are represented here at Vegas, who already have data centers and managed services. They will build based on this architecture, and the resellers are the people who just want to resell. In both cases, it's going to give them increased customer relevance, be able to move from a CapEx model to a managed services model, because the new opportunity for them is how to move their customers to hybrid cloud. Again, this is not about AWS. This is about application-centric workloads moving customers to AWS.
We think one of the value-added components that we wrapped around by the partners are consulting and professional services opportunities. I can say, as the person who up until Tuesday or whatever it was last week was running the worldwide field organization for services, 70% of the profitability of our channel partners globally comes from their services business, not their hardware reseller business. This gives them tremendously more opportunities to maximize the components of their business, which today gives them the most profitability. It expands the portfolio of offers because everything that's available on the cloud is available to everybody on the cloud. It's a flow-through subscription-based model that gets them into the annuity business, repeatable business, and renewals on annuity on a much higher percentage than renewals on transaction. And there's an opportunity for co-branding for everyone who plays a role here. And co-branding could be value-added through software extensions through the open APIs or through wraparounds on professional services opportunities. So it's a network effect, but the nodes this time are clouds. So that's what we're announcing, that's what we're enabling. And the first global partner to sign up is Telstra, who launched at Cisco Live. So best to hear it, not from me, but from Perez, who's going to talk about Telstra and why they're the first partner. Then we'll take questions. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Nate. Good afternoon, everybody. It's great to be here. Jump in here for a second, bring this up. But before I come in, corporate duties. So Telstra, we are the most innovative service provider. We do have the best wireless network out there, most advanced, and now we're going to have the most advanced cloud in the world as well. And we have been in the leading edge of this, but I want you to pay close attention. No shaving cuts, right? So we're doing well. Great partner. Anyway, why was it important for us to partner with Cisco, and how did we arrive at this? So, like Rob and Nick said, one of the first things that we find out is that as we project our existing cloud business going forward, is that economies of scale play a big part here. And this cycle of capital and innovation and access to a workforce that can do the feature function innovation, because this entire cloud thing is a lot about the software, not just the hardware underneath and the ability to put capital. Telstra has a lot of capital. We can put capital in the ground. That's not the limitation, right? That we couldn't do on our own. So we have to find a partner. And there is a slew of partners. You can go to the public clouds and you can go to the other side of the equation, which is the Cisco and IBM and so on. But we picked Cisco because there are other synergies that I'm going to point out. So economies of scale is one. The second is we're definitely believe in the power of the network. And together with Cisco, we believe that a network-enabled cloud is a better story. So what is a network-enabled cloud? By the way, I was asked by an analyst before, is there a cloud that's not connected to a network? No, that's not what I mean. I mean that the way you connect the cloud to the network, the intelligence you put in those connectors, can make a difference. It can make a difference by making applications network aware, and then an application can ask for quality of service with bandwidth. It can make a difference by collapsing work associated with establishing services. So if you have a workload or a service you want to establish and it requires compute, storage, and network, right? That entire stack gets automated, collapses both time to market and work and labor, and those savings get translated into the overall economics. And it's a difference because when you connect things in an automated way. We all know this, I'm not making it up. You know, software to software, you can expose those APIs. All of a sudden you have APIs exposed all the way to this open stack, and no pun intended, environment. And we don't even know what type of innovation people will do with those APIs, but it's definitely a platform for that. So the network is the second. Economies of scale first, the network is the second. The third part that was really important for us was to be part of an open standards environment. And I won't elaborate on that, but Cisco is bringing an OSS, an OpenStack OSS management, I use the word OSS freely here, cloud environment that can have multiple virtualizers on top of virtual machines, but from a management of the stack, OpenStack, and it's important. It was important specifically for us because we heard and we know and we see the evidence that pulls the entire ecosystem together. So we already hear, you know, of SoftLayer adhering to OpenStack standards, and we already hear of VCHS adhering to OpenStack stack standards, and we hear the whole ecosystem adhering to it. So this connection of standards is important. Now I'm going to get to a really important stuff. So I had economies of scale, I had the network is important, open is important. Now we'll get to the customers. Now our customers, and I'm going to say 100% of them are not completely homogeneous in their environments today. They have different applications running on different platforms of different standards and so on. And they were pretty much torn in this kind of option space where everybody is pushing, go to the cloud, it frees up capital, it gets time to market better, right? It changes all kinds of economics in your environment. But they can't just go and say, I'm just going to go to Amazon. And there's a reason. Even if they could put certain workloads there, and it changes their capital expenditure, it doesn't change their total cost of ownership. Now, we have two kinds of customers. We have the SMB space, which I would love to speak to you guys about at some point, but I'm going to leave it alone today. This SMB space is where we lower the boundary of entry into capabilities, and we'll figure that later. The other side, which are the enterprise or the bigger customers, they need us to help them manage their total cost of ownership, and they need us to help them manage the availability of their resources to do the things that matter to them. Now, what's really going on here? You know, I was a CIO for a while, and I know that everybody that's a CIO eventually gets measured at what's your budget, what's your IT budget as a percentage of revenues of the company, right? How much are you spending? How are you taking it down? Now, what we did over time, right, is we as CIOs invested in technology to enable things in the organization, and then we started finding ways to take cost out. Why do we want to? First of all, that equation of how much cost of the total revenue doesn't change. Unless the company somehow goes into an exponential trajectory of growth, you're still under that pressure. So what do you want to do? You want to be able to free resources, capital, expenses to focus on the things that enable your business in the future. Freeing those, raw cloud, just gives you a little bit of freedom, or some of the freedom there, around the capital expenditure. The next layer is the service management. If you start buying clouds from here and from there, and trying to manage it internally, and trying to manage your user community, you end up with all that overhead yourself as an organization. And by the way, all these common elements of the DevOps environments, of managing these clouds, right, common across multiple customers, no matter who you are, if you're getting into that business, same way that you were in data centers, you had to manage the equipment you had, and you had to evolve through that maturity. You get into that space, that DevOps capability, common, is costly and expensive and hard to get the resources. What was important to us is to get a partner that will help us get into the service management elements of cloud environments. So we can build that service management and give it back to our customers as a service. Why is Cisco an important partner in this? Because we had to have a partner that had the vision that cloud is not completely homogeneous, that there's other clouds connected, that there is an element of cloud that's targeted at specific enterprise-grade workloads. And it all has to come together with a set of tools that we can get and extend in order to build this service management layer for our customers. This is really what the customers want. Take that element off our hands, free us to do innovation, free us to do what we need to do with the business, free our money, free our resources, and don't make us go compete for resources we can't even reach and get in the market. And what that opens up is really opens up this entire platform to be the platform of innovation for them. And why is it innovation? Well, first of all, it's because it is a platform where you can start building the applications of the future. And the applications of the future should be built on top of elastic infrastructure, so you're never back in that conundrum of an application that's tightly coupled to the infrastructure. That's one layer. The second is because we're freeing up those elements by offering service management and the network automation and all that, the customers are now free to use those resources to innovate in their own specific businesses. All that put together with the assets that Cisco brings to the table is what makes it a great partnership for us and why we decided to go, or Cisco and us together, as world first, and we're very excited about it. And with this, I think I'm opening up for Q&A, right? All right.
You want to join us?